Hello everyone, I'm Unchallenged and welcome back to the Indie Devlog Update. In today's video, we're going to be diving into a brand new feature added into Heroes Downfall. This is going to be affecting the battle system by adding a power meter. This is an exciting addition, sure to spice up the combat experience and add a whole new layer of strategy into this text-based adventure game. So with that said, if you guys are brand new here to the channel, if you go down below, give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you guys are interested in game and game development content. And with that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. So here is our introduction screen. We click on a new game, we pick our class, we'll go ahead and go with the Vile Ranger. I think we've already covered this in the previous videos, but in our latest update, we did go ahead and give each class specific gear specialties here. So in the character tab, you'll see gear specialty. We have hand bows and quivers for the Vile Rangers. The hand bow will, by equipping it, will increase the base attack by 2 and reflex by 1. Quivers will increase the base defense by 1 as well. So they're a little bit of a specialty for their gear. So that way, if they have the option to use daggers and swords and axes and wands and stuff like other classes can, but that's not their specialty, right? So by giving and having specific class equipment that is specialized for them, that's going to boost them overall. So they'll have the option to use other gear if it's better, but they'll prefer to use their own class specific gear. So here we'll see our attack go from 2 up to 4 with that range of 1 to 3 additional attack because of the worn handbow. And our defense is the lowest defense in the game, starting at 0, but we loot the corpse and we get the worn quiver. This comes with a +1 defense, but our specialty is by wearing quivers, we get an additional increase of defense by 1. So we equip this and we get a total defense of 2. We go ahead and head upstairs. Now here is the brand new feature added into my game called Heroes Downfall. It is the battle system power meter. And what you're going to notice here is that it now scrolls left and right. This is just something that had been a suggestion. So I've had a bunch of suggestions on how to improve the combat system. Option 1 had been, or just several options, right? One of the options had been to implement different stances that the player could choose between, I think I wrote this up on the Discord recently, but I can go ahead and post a quick picture here. Let's go ahead and pop into the devlog here. Yeah, there we go. And I had other suggestions as well, but a lot of them had to do with cards. Some of the other ones here were much easier to kind of implement. So I don't know if you guys can see this very well on the tube side, but we have the power meter option 1, where at the very center of the power meter, you would increase whatever attack you rolled, which would include your attack base plus your weapon with an additional bonus stat of whatever you hit. That way, it would encourage players to wait a little bit in between to kind of add that additional damage, right? You want to take out the enemy faster. You want to defend against the enemy better. So you're going to want to wait for these. So this is more very active. Like you're going to be proactive in the combat experience. You're not going to be just kind of smashing through the buttons trying to get and defeat the enemy just with willy-nilly options, right? That was the battle meter. The second option that was suggested was where you have different stances you can move your positioning in, where by choosing to be the offensive stance, you could increase your attack by 1, but you'll decrease your defense by 1. You have your neutral stance with no change to your stats. Then you have your defensive stance, which would increase your defense by 1, but decrease your attack by 1. This, I felt like it wasn't as proactive in the battle system, where you would kind of set it and forget it unless you needed to adjust it. And oftentimes, because that little difference of either adding very minimal, or maybe I could, obviously I could add a little bit more, like +2 or -2 to kind of balance it out in progress-wise. This was going to be mostly like a set and forget kind of thing during a battle, so it wasn't going to be as active in a normal battle system, in a combat experience, making it too exciting, right? So I kind of want to spice it up. Another option had been to introduce sort of a card system, and this was introduced by a few different people because cards in RPG style games is really big right now. So by having different card options that the player could randomly get in their hand, and being able to play these specific options of cards or things that you would get would do different abilities and damages and stuff like that. But that wasn't something I could implement into a text-based adventure. And there were a few other suggestions, but those were a lot of the primarily 3 options. So I went with the I feel like this is the more exciting type of battle system, where now when in a battle, you're being more active, right? You're being more proactive. You're waiting for this thing to hit in the center, and then you're hitting boom. So we attack with the Worn Handbow. We did 10 damage. The Dwarven Berserker withstood 1 of the attack based off his defense, doing a total of 9 damage. I had this text in here now just to kind of showcase that the attack was boosted by an additional 3. So here we're in the defensive state now. So this will do the exact same thing. I can go ahead and click, and we can see here that our defense was boosted by an additional 1. So the Dwarven Berserker attacked us for 4 damage. We withstood 2 of the attack, but we got that additional boost of 1. So instead of 4, instead of him doing just 1 to us, because of the additional boost, we only got 1 damage done to us. So that's the way that this battle meter is going to be working, where you're going to be more focused on trying to get those maximum crits in the middle to just maximize your defense and maximize your offense skills. A lot of the new items have been introduced as well. So here, for example, we have the Gilded Boots of Agility, which increase our HP by 4, mana points, so hit points, mana points, and reflex by the desired stats. We equip these items, and we can see all of our stats are being adjusted as well. Go into new battle, and in the past, we really just kind of want to click this as fast as possible to kind of get through the game a bit more. But now you're kind of having to time your attacks a bit more to kind of take. You're trying to give and receive the least amount of damage. We loot the corpse, but we found nothing. Unfortunately, we found nothing there. We did find some treasure in the next floor. We'll go ahead and enter into the shop, buy a potion, take off the shop. I'm still working on the dungeon system, so the dungeon system is in the game now, and it is actually working now. We'll go quickly through this one. I know the way to kind of defeat this one. We just loot the body. We get the gold skeleton key. We go back south, go east to the tunnels, go use the key on the chamber now. So here we can go into the chamber, and we go into the cavern. So I can see here that my exit dungeon button and my show map button are going to be conflicting with my action bar, my power meter, but this was just introduced here within the last update. And I can adjust the size of this in order to not mash into those buttons there. But here we're fighting a cavern dragon. We'll go ahead and wait for this to kind of come back and smack him. We did 8 damage, so here we do our base 4. We probably rolled, let's see, we added a 3. So we probably rolled a 1 with our weapon, so we did 5 plus 3, doing that 8 damage. We'll go ahead and block and see if we can finish this guy off. We swing, but we miss. And I forgot what our offensive ability is. Oh no, we're going to use we use rapid fire. With the deft flick of your wrist, you conjure a shimmering magical bow from the thin air. You unleash 2 swift arrows in rapid succession. The first strikes for 5 damage. The second delivers another powerful blow for 6 damage, each finding their mark with deadly precision. The cave dragon withstood 1 of the attack, doing a total of 11, but we defeated the cave dragon. And let's see, do we get some better boots? Nope, we can go ahead and sell that item and continue. The body of the colossal cavern dragon made of molten rock and fire lies defeated, its scales still glowing with intense heat. So we can only move east. We'll go east, and boom, there is our treasure inside of the dungeon. We did get the helmet. Yep, we're going to go ahead and pick up the helmet, and we have nothing equipped. We'll go ahead and equip that. And you can kind of see here that... oh, it was armor. Yeah, the Gilded Armor of Fortitude was equipped. Yes, plus 4 HP, plus 4 MP. You can see our HP is nice and 28. And then we did reach the treasure room. There's nothing really left. We could go back, but I think everything else... because we've reached the end, I kind of disabled all the buttons at the moment. But we can hit Exit Dungeon. And then we'll retrace our steps out of the dungeon, back into the catacombs, and continue heading upstairs, where... we're now on floor 7, and we can kind of make our way through the dungeon. So, that is the current progression of the game. Let me know down in the comment section below, what do you guys think of the new battle system power meter? This will help offensively and defensively make the combat experience a little bit more interactive and just kind of add another layer of strategy to a text-based adventure game. If you guys have other suggestions, let me know down in the comment section below for different ideas of enemies, of different items that could be added into the game, dungeons ideas, weapon and item ideas. So if you guys have suggestions, I am all ears. I always appreciate any sort of feedback. You guys can always join the Discord server. I have a link down in the description below. And also there will be a link in the pinned comment down below. Be sure to go and drop a comment just saying hello or anything you'd like. And that is going to be it for today's video. I do appreciate everyone who has tuned into this video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.